It's election night in Cakeland. Voting has now ended in Sedgwick County. The polls are closed and now the ballot counting can begin.
So we begin our coverage tonight with Cake's Jake Bowles. He's live at the Sedgwick County Elections Office. Jake, what do you see right now?
And that's a question everybody's been asking. When will we get those results?
And they have been training for months on this. I mean, they've known that mail-in was going to be more of interest with the pandemic. They've been bringing all these people together, special classes. They've been trying as hard as they can, and there are a lot of people working to make sure all of this does. And that's a key point we keep hearing over and over again. It takes time, but that also means the system is working. It's not something that's a warning sign of anything.
Right, just be patient. They're being counted.
Competitive and costliest, the Senate contest between Republican Roger Marshall and Democrat Barbara Bollier. It is the most expensive political contest in state history. Cake's Pilar Pedraza is live in Overland Park tonight with the Bollier campaign. So Pilar, the question now, does all that money pay off in the end? It's election night in Cakeland, and we're tracking the big races locally and across the state. Morgan Mobley is live in Delano from Sarah Lopez's watch party. Morgan, at one point we had some very, very early numbers that show she had a little bit of a lead there. Of course, we're also watching the Senate race tonight, which has national implications. Still waiting for those numbers to come through. We keep saying this, but as we continue our coverage tonight, very early in the evening before we're going to know, especially statewide numbers.
1% of the precincts are in. It is always interesting to see once we get
in Park with the Bollier campaign, a socially distanced party this year. Pilar, have we heard from her yet? We heard from a very confident Roger Marshall in the last hour. He was talking about a lot of thanks to a lot of the other Republican causes. So, you know, as we wait for some kind of a response, what's the big question coming out right now? Pilar, thank you. We have heard from a lot of Republican strategists who have said their voters are going to come out a lot stronger on Election Day today.
Right.
And that's where they think that the numbers are going to moderate out a little bit in terms of the polling. We want to go to the Republican side now, and Congressman Roger Marshall.
Winner. To take that
it would go to his or his commission advisory board. They would make the final selection. There was a question over the mail-in ballots at one, or those some notes that were going out from the parties as well. So as you said right now, Lopez is ahead. She said about a half hour ago. She's not taking any of this for granted at this point. We have all of those results on the bottom of your screen, also at cake.com/elections. We'll go back now to ABC News. Be back with more in half an hour. Pilar, thank you so much. Let's talk about another big race right now. Sedgwick County Commission District 2. 37% of the precincts are in right now. Sarah Lopez still has that lead over Michael O'Donnell. 52 to 48%, of course. Michael O'Donnell had promised on Facebook over the weekend and on our air as well that he would resign if he was reelected. The idea was that he was trying to court the Republican vote so that if he did resign, it would go back to their committee, and then the Republican Party would select a new commissioner. They were hoping they could still keep that Republican seat on the commission if at all possible. These numbers so far, and again, only 37% reporting, would seem to indicate Sarah Lopez has been able to stay ahead, at least so far.
Yeah, and this is in light of all that controversy surrounding a campaign ad an entire year ago. Good evening. Welcome to Cake News 2020 election night coverage. I'm Deb Ferris.
And I'm Greg Miller. We have a team of reporters covering all of the major races tonight. And we want to begin with the hotly contested race for U.S. Senate between Democrat Barbara Bollier and Republican Roger Marshall. Right now, with 65% of the vote in so far, Roger Marshall has a big lead, 52 to 44%. Again, 65% of precincts are reporting. And ABC News is now declaring Roger Marshall the winner in that race. He will be the next U.S. Senator to go to Washington from the state of Kansas. Cake's Pilar Pedraza is live in Overland Park at Barbara Bollier's watch party. Pilar, between all of the money she put into this race and really how close the polls were the entire time within the margin of error, with these percentages, this is a major defeat for her. To Sedgwick County tonight, to those voters, is the one for County Commission District number 2. That's between incumbent Michael O'Donnell and challenger Sarah Lopez. Okay, Lacey, thank you so much. Well, all the polling locations in Sedgwick County have sent in their ballots to the elections office. Our Jake Bowles is there with the latest. Jake, the elections commissioner just tweeted now that Sedgwick County is done reporting for the night.
Jay, now for some of that analysis of the race for Senate.
Wichita State political analyst Dr. Neil Allen is with us tonight. Dr. Allen, with the caveat that we may have to go to Roger Marshall because we hear he's going to be talking in just a moment. Your thoughts? So much money put into this. The polls were so tight, yet these results are not.
That's correct. And
Alan, sorry to wrap you there. We want to go to the campaign right now where Roger Marshall is up in Topeka. Okay, so that is Roger Marshall, the next senator going from Kansas, going to the United States. Right now, the makeup, according to the Associated Press, based off the results that are in, they're still waiting on a lot of races. The Republicans hold a slight majority when it comes to the Senate. 44 Republican seats versus 42 Democrat. Of course, you need 51 for the majority. And as you said before, the Democrats were trying to get a seat from Kansas. But based off of these results, it's not even close.
Yeah, and they had projected that this race between Marshall and Boyer was going to be very, very tight, but it ended up that isn't the case.
No, not at all. And they're still waiting on Western Kansas numbers, which is where he's always been strong before.
Right.
We are going to take a break.
Okay.
There's Barbara Boyer's concession speech. Sounds like more than just a concession speech for the race, but her, as she just said, political career as a whole. So the state of Kansas sending Roger Marshall to the U.S. Senate, which is going to be a big deal in terms of the Senate makeup as we start looking at some of the bigger races across the rest of the country.
Yeah, some of them have gone to the other side. Some have gone to the Democratic side. Of course, the network has been following those races, plus the presidential race. Let's get back to ABC News and their coverage. Thanks for watching.